Millions of distinct events are occurring globally. Stock prices tick, academic papers publish, and governments issue policy. It is a relentless cascade of information. Out in deep space, the Voyager 1 spacecraft is quietly powering down another one of its functional instruments just to conserve its dwindling energy reserves. A watchdog report warns NASA's 2028 moon landing faces severe delays. The reason isn't orbital mechanics. They simply lack the spacesuits needed for the mission. And simultaneously, buried in the soil of Norway, archaeologists are pulling the largest spectacular Viking coin hoard ever recorded out of the ground. When you place all of these disparate facts side by side in a single 24-hour cycle, the human brain stalls. The sheer volume of incoming data converts what should be actionable knowledge into a dense wall of cognitive noise. Our biology is hitting a hard ceiling. The present moves at a velocity that far exceeds the human capacity for synthesis. We are simply not wired to hold and process that many variables simultaneously. The standard approach is to read summaries or condensed news. But shrinking daily text strips away the subtle, contextual edges between completely unrelated global events. You get the headlines, but you lose the connective tissue. To actually understand where things are heading, you need a different kind of tool. You need a system that doesn't just read the news, but tracks and correlates the underlying metadata over months and years. Finding the true signal requires stepping back. It requires offloading the heavy labor of pattern recognition to a system capable of looking at everything simultaneously. This is the exact function of the Neosis report agent. It runs quietly in the background, executing an automated, scheduled tracking routine without needing human intervention. It continuously scans highly diverse sectors, everything from international finance and Chinese robotics to shifting AI policies. Instead of reading the narrative, it strips the text down to its core elements, hunting strictly for metadata overlaps. This network diagram shows the algorithm clustering specific themes together as it parses hundreds of indexed reports. It isolates anomalous repetitions, like a sudden, concentrated spike in subjects like China and AI progress, appearing across seemingly unrelated fields. By mapping these clusters, the agent reveals relationships that are almost impossible to spot manually. It draws a direct line, for example, between the revitalization of an old African railroad and the escalating competition for critical metals between the US and China. High-level organization is not about trying to read every article. It is about identifying those silent signals in the noise long before they become obvious trends. Once that massive correlated dataset is processed, the system compresses it. The result is a highly concise briefing delivered automatically every morning at 8 a.m. The output is rigid and predictable. It categorizes the chaos into distinct sectors, cleanly separating deep space scientific milestones from shifts in corporate finance and culture. Reviewing these synthesized trends allows you to anticipate massive market movements, like Oracle securing $16 billion in infrastructure financing for data center expansion, without having to perform any of the raw tracking yourself. The grueling mechanics of global monitoring are completely detached from your daily routine. The machine handles the noise. What remains is an entirely different state of mind. With the macro patterns of the world securely monitored, the physical environment comes back into focus. There is a profound psychological relief in no longer needing to constantly scan the horizon. The anxiety of missing crucial information dissolves. While the tracking algorithm processes millions of global data points at hyperspeed, the human observer is free to do the exact opposite, to exist locally, moving slowly. High-frequency tracking algorithms serve a specific human purpose. They absorb the cognitive weight of global complexity. They handle the scale so we can reclaim the bandwidth we previously surrendered to the noise. By letting the machines map the complexities of the globe, we buy back our own attention. We preserve the capacity to sit still and simply notice the spring green in the yard that has been there all along.
Every morning at 7 a.m., a Python script scans 14 sources. By the time I've walked Jade and made coffee, the synthesis is waiting. What signal are you processing?